are incarcerated in longer sentences.
My name is Gene Meredith. I'm incarcerated in Montana State Prison. My sentence is 999 years without parole.
Why are you doing this here?
People with mental health problems can become dangerous. I did. The voices were talking to me and telling me, let's do it again. Remember how good it felt? The feeling that you got. We're going to do it again.
Meredith is boarding with an elderly woman in Great Falls.
I woke up the next morning and had no remorse. Slept good. Nothing bothered me.
Forensic psychiatrist Dr. Jacqueline Berenson has watched our interviews with Meredith. She has not treated Meredith, but has reviewed his psychiatric evaluation, where he was diagnosed with schizoaffective disorder.
Schizoaffective disorder is a psychotic disorder, which means that a person has a difficulty with reality. Somebody who has depression or depression and mania in combination with a psychotic illness, and there's something neurological that's misfiring.
The day after the murder of Rose Torres, Meredith decides to go to his girlfriend's house, Debbie Bailey.
Took a shower, brushed my teeth, and I rode over to Debbie's. I already made up my mind. She was going to be my next victim.
Only minutes earlier, police had discovered that Meredith was involved with Debbie.
The decision is made as we're going to do what we call a knock and talk.
I was sitting on the couch when I seen him. He was looking like he, was disturbed. He was telling me that he did something really bad, and I guess I just kept pushing it until finally he told me exactly what he did. Then he started getting a look on his face, and he said, and he started walking toward me. And that's when it was sinking in. And when his face started tightening up, I was really thinking he was going to make sure that I couldn't tell anybody.
I was about ready to go in the kitchen and grab a knife when the police knocked on the door.
And the door opens and Debbie Bailey comes.
What the hell am I doing here? Well, we get talking, okay? What happened last night? I went over to Debbie's on my bike, and then asked her to let me use the van to go make a beer run. And that's what I did. And that's what I was doing.
Meredith admits to driving the van through the alley where Rose was killed.
When I stopped in the alley, there was two guys, and they were in the alley. And I stopped. What? There's this gal laying there, right next to the dumpster. And then I told him there was blood in the dumpster. How did you know there was blood in the dumpster? Because I was right there. Or I messed with that evidence. What did I do, okay? What did I do? You stabbed a woman. I stabbed a woman, yeah. No, I didn't stab no woman. I didn't do it.
During the interview, detectives noticed something odd. Meredith often turns to his right, as if he was addressing someone standing next to him.
It was very apparent to both Detective Belusky and I that he felt he had another persona in his head. He would always look up and to the right when he would reference this other side of himself.
They had learned from his girlfriend Debbie that Meredith suffered from auditory hallucinations. He hears voices, and sometimes one of the voices takes over his personality.
He defined him as rage and anger.
Who am I talking to? Am I talking to Gene or him now? It's full of rage. It's full of anger. It's full of rage and anger. All right, okay. What is he trying to do?
The so-called rage and anger begins to take over.
His affect would change that you knew which person you were talking to. He would look at you, his eyes were piercing, his teeth would jut out. Tone of his voice and inflection would change.
He's coming.
Gravelly voice, just evil persona.
You don't have nothing. You don't have no murder weapon. You have nothing. You have nothing. You can't arrest him. You can't arrest me. You can't arrest anybody. You don't have nothing. I want Gene back. No, I'll give you Gene back when I'm ready. You're not gonna blame this on Gene. You're not gonna blame it on me. Gene don't have no story. Gene don't have nothing. I've been taking care of him all his life.
How old were you the first time you heard the voices?
When I started hearing the voices was at the age of 18. They're outside of my head. They're verbal voices like I hear when someone speaks to me. When they get loud, they're yelling in my ear, just yelling at me.
Born in Lansing, Michigan, Meredith was a loner as a child. But speaking through a voice he calls rage and anger, he admits to attacking Debbie weeks before.
Was treating him like after all he was doing for her. He worked and took care of that family, and they didn't appreciate him. And I was gonna take Debbie and stop all that nonsense.
He had stopped his medication, so he was in this downward spiral into a deeper and more intense psychosis. His ability to control himself, his ability to manage his feelings, those things all may have been increasingly compromised.
I had my hands on her throat, and I was taking her. That was good.
Detectives interview him for hours, while his personality shifts between rage and anger and a confused Gene Meredith.
Where am I? Where am I? You guys came over to my house. You know, the Gene's house. Yeah, that's me.
Gene continues to deny the murder.
Now, let's go back to the alley. What alley? I'm ready for the truth. Do you remember I just stabbed her? I didn't stab her. Do you remember how many times you stabbed her? I didn't stab her. Yes, you did. Do you remember how many times? No, I didn't. No, I didn't.
After 5 hours, Detective Bruce McDermott realizes Gene is not going to confess. He tries another approach.
You were wearing those sandals all day yesterday. Take a look at those. Take them off. I'm going to tell you what to see here. Ladies, blood on your sandals.
That ain't blood.
McDermott leaves Meredith alone in the interview room.
He sat there for a long, long time. And I saw him whisper something. You could barely hear it. It was just a whisper.
So I jacked up the volume as high as I could. I called a couple other people in to listen to it as well to see if we could come up with what he was saying. Gene whispers, "Now I'm in trouble." All during that interrogation, the voices were yelling and screaming. And I was yelling and screaming when they were telling me to yell and scream.
She's a weakling. She can't do nothing.
5 hours into the interview, Detective Bruce McDermott takes Meredith's sandals as potential evidence. And investigators watch as he talks to himself in the interview room.
He blurted it out to himself. I should have gotten rid of that.
They test the sandals and find traces of Rose's blood.
Gene Meredith never admitted to killing Rose Torres, but he danced around the issue in so many ways as to confirm that he did it.
On August 24th, 2006, Meredith is charged with Rose's murder. He is arraigned via video feed from the detention center.
Are you pleading to the charge of deliberate homicide and felony, guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
His case goes to trial, where a jury deliberates for less than 2 hours before finding him guilty. He never confessed to the murder or talked about why he killed Rose. Until now.
People with mental health problems can become dangerous if they don't take their medication. I did. She just happened to be there at the wrong time, the wrong place.
Meredith says the story of the murder began 2 weeks earlier. He was planning to move in with his girlfriend, Debbie Bailey, and 2 of her sons.
She got me excited because
One night, he and Debbie were fighting, and
The
the
voices
flared up.
somehow or another I got really angry. The voice came back and I was really full of rage. The voice said, "Took the living out of her. Took her." Her eyes started curling up and she started gagging and she started having trouble breathing. She was about ready to pass out.
I was really scared and I was hanging on to his hands around my neck. I was telling him that I loved him and then eventually he let go of my neck. I was really scared and I was hanging on to his hands around my neck. I was telling him that I loved him and then eventually he let go of my neck.
Meredith tells Debbie that it's the voice that made him do it. He asks her not to tell anyone.
And I told my friends. And he got all mad at me over that.
Debbie also tells her grown son, Ed.
And that's when I lost a doctor and changed their mind. Probably moved in. I wasted 4 years of my life on her, and those people need to pay. I got so angry, and the voices being so loud. Nothing that I had experienced before. It was just tenfold. I was going to stab at it, but I was going to shoot her best friend and her other friend with a shotgun.